Hey, you guys enjoyed these last time, so whenever there was some pretty big news, I wanted to share it with you. And we had a big roadmap update today, and I'll go over the entire thing tomorrow on stream, I'm sure. I'm sure there'll be a react video of it and everything, but I wanted to touch on a couple really big things from this one. And in particular, the most important thing to me is huge and unexpected in this roadmap update, and that is the experimental mode is expected to be an Arena Commander in the 323 release window. That's not the entire experimental mode into the PU, the test environment in Arena Commander. So the first big bit of news here is there's going to be 3 different test modes that they're going to be talking about. So what do we think those might be? First off, leave comments down below and let me know what you think they might be talking about here. My expectations is we're going to get something very similar to what they demoed at CitizenCon, right? They had some attackers and they had some defenders in a C2. Maybe the C2 is the ship that we're using. Maybe it's not, right? We know that they're, as far as the larger ships in Arena Commander right now, maybe this is also a master modes test, is a constellation, right? That could be one, but the C2 does seem already set up, so the expectation, maybe we see that as well. But here's what I think. I think we're going to get an endless Vandal Swarm mode, so a PvE mode where, yeah, you're not dealing with PvP sweats and, you know, one side versus another, and you're able to focus on your group and your own group's communication, right? So you're going to be in a large multi-crew ship, most likely a C2, or I think the Retaliator was also getting this kind of work, right? So now you just have to ask, how in-depth will this be? Are we going to load in with salvage weapons? Are we going to have full canisters of RMC? Or are we going to have to kill some Vandal and collect that RMC, right? Those kind of things. How are we going to be doing the repairing? How are we going to be doing the engineering? The engineering demo started out with them collecting RMC, right? Not actually being attacked and dealing with repairs and all that stuff. So there's a lot on my mind about this one. I really hope we get to see both component repair. I think I really want to see component swapping as well. Maybe even distortion damage and how some of those things work. We know that there's going to be relays and, you know, are we going to spawn in with relays? Are ships going to have inventories with all these things? There are so many questions here on how all this is going to play out. For me personally, I really hope that we do just get a very focused, friendly group mode where we can focus on communication and dealing with the, I mean, if we looked at the demo, it was quite chaotic, right? So all that chaos can be quite fun, especially when working through the puzzles and problems that come along with this. So I absolutely cannot wait for this one. But yeah, that's just one mode that is possible. So the one mode that's possible is dealing with the engineering panel, other people running around the ship, putting out fires. Are we going to see atmosphere and losing that? What's that like? Are we going to have suits on? What if we don't? Right? Lots and lots and lots of questions here. Another similar thing to the demo is, are there going to be snub fighters? Is a Fury just going to land on our C2 for repairs? Maybe that's where the constellation that I mentioned comes into play. You have a ship on the back of that constellation. Is that something that you're going to be repairing as well? All very interesting things. So what else could they be demoing if there's 3 modes? The only other one I can think of is a PvP mode, right? Where you are multi-crewing 2 heavy multi-crew ships, because obviously we know in Arena Commander they can now ban ships from certain modes. So there might be no light fighters in this mode. Maybe there's light fighters allowed on one side, and maybe there's only a single multi-crew ship allowed on another. Who knows how they plan on doing this, but my expectations will probably be, if there's a PvP mode, it'll be 2 capital size ships, so probably 2 C2s or something like that, and then everybody has to deal with the engineering, and we'll see who wins, right? The first one to die loses, the first one to get a kill gets a point, something like that. I think that would be kind of cool, but at the same time, yeah, I think my preference would probably be the PvE mode, at least initially, to get a handle on things. This is probably going to be quite complicated. One other thing that we're not sure if it'll be a part of it, but is honestly probably the biggest thing that they showed at CitizenCon in 2023 was the battery allocation, right? Battery allocation says with all multi-crew ships, you cannot run all the systems on a given ship at any given time unless you are using the extra batteries that are on this ship and using that battery management wisely as it can run out. So how will that work, right? Are we going to have shields up, weapons up, engines up all at the same time? How much power are we going to be able to put into them? How much does that matter, right? We've played other games like Starfield and Elite Dangerous where power allocation really makes a difference. How is that entire system going to change in comparison to what we're used to now? We're sort of seeing it a little bit with the master modes testing, and if you put your capacitor into shields, you're getting additional damage reduction to either lasers or distortion and things like that. So I think we're starting to see a little bit of a piece of that. But what could the last possible mode be? And the only thing I can think of is single-seater ships deal with resource management as well. Are we going to have an engineering panel on those ships? I don't know. The last one, I have no idea. I feel like a standard PvE and a PvP mode are the obvious ones, but the last one is not so obvious. Now, the next thing. This is all really, really exciting, right? It's just very exciting to see engineering in the first place, but there is a lot of talk about how big 323 is, and is it going to release on time, right? On time would be considered April, because that's when every single Q1 patch has released in the past, except for one, I think. Do we think it's going to make that? It's hard to say. We already know through this roadmap update is that all the features expected are not going to make it, right? This roadmap update, the first thing that they mentioned was that vehicle spawning at our freight elevators is not going to be in 323. That is the first casualty of a 323 expected feature that we're aware of. We know that there's been other casualties from CitizenCon, as in like fog and cloud improvements that was supposed to be in 322 all the way from back in October at CitizenCon. So some things haven't made it that were expected to. This is not a surprise at all, but we're also starting to see those casualties. So with such a big patch, the one thing that they're saying here is that everything is targeting an Alpha 323 release window. So they're using different language now than saying automatically it's going to be in a 323.x patch. It kind of sounds like they're not entirely sure where something like this is going to land, right? So let me know down in the comments, where do you expect the experimental mode to land? Do you think it's going to come out with 323 Live? That would be amazing. For me personally, Arena Commander is a game changer. I'm able to just jump in and play. And that has been really, really nice for somebody who's a little bit busier lately than I'm normally used to, right? So if I have 20 minutes and I want to kill some time, I've really wanted to spend that time in Arena Commander more than anywhere else because it's easier to get in and out, right? Now, leave a comment down below. Let me know, again, are you guys enjoying these kind of little update videos here on the main channel? Just giving you my feelings on something that's new. They're very similar to React videos, but the chat involvement isn't there or anything like that. So we will definitely be on twitch.tv/SaltEMike tomorrow morning, reacting to all this with Twitch chat and having a nice long discussion about it. But what does this mean to you? The big thing that I think of here, and the question that I want to leave to you guys, is how many of your friends are sitting on the sidelines, not really interested in playing Star Citizen? And how many of you think something like this could at least bring them back temporarily? I think something like this is a really, really big deal for bringing those, what I expect most groups to look like in Star Citizen. A Connie-sized 4 to 5 people in a ship, engineering, turrets, PvE, PvP, salvaging, that kind of stuff going on. So I'm just tired of personally flying a ship. I'm tired of sitting in a turret and doing the same thing and just shooting at NPCs that barely shoot back. I want to have a meaningful impact in a group setting, and this is really a big feature for that. Like, one of the things I think of is, how is a mold going to work with engineering, right? You need all that power for the lasers. How's that going to play out? Everything here in engineering has a meaningful impact on the game in the future. So seeing that impact even from its infancy is going to be so fun. So anyway, I just wanted to make a really quick video for you guys. More on the React channel, more on my live stream, and please leave some feedback. Let me know if you guys are enjoying these videos, and if you want me to keep doing them, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, all that stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.